Alright, YouTubers, welcome back. My name's Dave. Like always, and you found do it yourself, do it right. And well, it's been a while since I've put out a video. Figured I'd give you some updates. Let's get into it. So I'd like to, apologize to the 500 and maybe 53 subscribers that I have now. It's been a while since I put out a video. Been kind of busy. Got kind of burnt out making videos. And, work, life, everything happens. And to be honest with you, making videos kind of took away some of the fun that I was trying to have in the garage. I do have fun when I'm working on all the stuff, and trying to shoot a video while working on it, kind of takes away from some of that fun. So, I kind of apologize for slacking off this winter. I try to do better this summer. So, some of the updates, as you can see, the Mustang is now outside. I think the fear of snow has kind of gone away, so she can live outside. And as you can see, I've rearranged the bikes a little bit, so I can get to them, do some work on them, that kind of stuff. So rearrange the garage a bit. If you remember, we'll start off down here. I put the new handlebars on the old Road Glide this winter video around here. I've since been able to ride the bike a few times and make some adjustments on the handlebars. I kind of pulled them back and pulled them in a little bit. I was kind of spread out a little bit, so I pulled them back and in, and it's much more comfortable. I did make mention in that video about the clamp, the handlebar clamp being loose when I took the bars apart, and I've since went back and retorqued these again, and lo and behold, they were loose again. So for those of you doing your own handlebars, make sure you go back and retorque your handlebars. But as far as the rest of the bike, no issues. Moving on to the old Softail. The only thing I did on Charlene was mirrors, and well, they're there still. I did, obviously adjust them, but no issues there. She runs good. She's fun to ride. She's an eye catcher. Moving down the line, the 360 that I bought from Syracuse, I really have done absolutely nothing to this bike. Just put the battery tender on it, and that's it, really. I put a battery in it. I painted the horn because I couldn't get the cover to go back on. I don't know what the problem is with that, but the cover won't go back on the horn. The horn works, but I just can't get it to go back on. And I have not registered or insured this bike yet, so I can't legally take it out on the street. But word on the street says it goes up and down the street just fine. So moving on to the racer. So she was over there, where that one is now taking up that space. I'll get to that one in a minute. The racer is going to be my back and forth to work daily bike. As soon as I mess around with the timing. The number 2 cylinder is firing a little early. Every once in a while it'll backfire through the carburetor, which tells me that the timing is a little early, so I need to adjust that. And that was really the whole impetus behind kicking the Mustang out of the garage and getting everything situated so I can do some work, because she needs some timing done on it. But other than that, she runs good. She ran fine. No issues, other than I had to put some air in the tire. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, she's been in this configuration for a while now, and it's going to stay like that. Oh, the Ford. Boy. The Ford. I had high hopes for the Ford this winter, but unfortunately I was unable to do even a quarter of what I wanted to do on it. But I did get some engine work done on it. So let's get under the hood and show you what I did. All right, so, you know, everything that I did, you can't see because I put it all back together. But I was having a ticking issue with the valve train on this side. So I took the cover off and I went through and redid the valve lash on every single cylinder, intake and exhaust. And the tick has seemed to go away as of right now. Hopefully it stays away, because if not, that means I'm going to have a bigger issue with the engine, and I really don't want a bigger issue with the engine. The other thing that I did, this thing has been running richer than Bill Gates for a while. I took the plugs out of it. You know, the plugs were pretty black. So in attempts to trying to lean it up, I pulled the distributor and I redid the whole timing again and again and again. Yeah, so I got the timing to where it's supposed to be. And if you look down here, maybe, oh man, it's definitely not where it's supposed to be. On the flywheel down here, there's the timing marks. Oh, actually you can see it right there, kind of, maybe, if you squint your eyes enough down in there. You can see I took a marker, get you in there, there you go, now you can see it. I took a marker and I marked where it was supposed to be. And I cleaned off the flywheel, so I could see all the tick marks for the timing. And wouldn't you know it, you know, every time I moved the distributor, maybe went a tooth too far each time. So, you know, trial and error, starting it up, running it, putting a timing light on it, taking it back, you know, doing it again because I go too far. I finally got it, and hopefully that is that'll fix some of my lean or my running rich issue. The other thing I also did was my father had, or has, well, I have him now. He had a bunch of extra parts for this car. He had an extra carburetor, fuel pump, valve covers, basically you name it. So I went over to my mom's house, found those, brought them back here, took them apart, see what the jet combination was. Went on the old interwebs, figured out what kind of carburetor this is, which it's a Holley 4000, which they call it a teapot. And I got a rebuild kit, and I popped this carburetor off, the one that's underneath the air bath filter, obviously. Popped that one off, and I checked the jets, and you know, the jets are what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to, you know, they're the stock jets for this engine, which I believe was, oh boy, I have it on my phone, saved it on my phone. I believe it's a 53 or a 58. I did this, you know, probably January, so it's been a few months now. So the carburetor is where it's supposed to be for stock, which this engine is stock. So maybe, hopefully I can fix that lean issue. I do, for future projects, I do, over here, I have some parts for it, wouldn't you know it. New spark plugs and a new oil filter. No, and a peep mirror. As you can see, here's the old carburetor that I got. I put the old fuel pump upstairs with the rest of the parts. I got more parts in here that I'm going to change out. Some of the stuff that I wanted to get to this winter, but I just haven't, or I didn't. I wasn't able to because it was cold. Hotter spark plugs. Hopefully it'll run leaner. Change the oil. Got to do that. The oil pan is leaking a little bit, so I do need to get to that before I start running her up and down to shows. So the Ford, you know, I didn't get to the wheel bearings, or not wheel bearings. I didn't get to any of the bearings and the bushings and the stuff in the front. I didn't get to the brakes, and I didn't get to the wiring in the back, which I have to do that before I take it to shows. So upcoming on that is wiring the taillights, oil change, spark plugs, oil pan seal. Those are the #1 priorities before the first show. And the first show is coming up, I think, in like 3 or 4 weeks. So I got that much time to get it done. I'm gonna try to get it done. So that is the Ford, you know, so got to get that done. Some of the other projects that I wanted to do, I didn't get to, I haven't done it yet. You saw, well, the peep mirror, you know, that's not a big deal. That's just slap her on there, right? Yep. So gonna do that. And as you can see, I have some decalage. And you know, let me talk to you about this. So these decals, you know, I ordered these decals all from the old face space. There's a guy, you know, he was posting on there all these cool decals, reflective, blah blah blah. So, you know, I went on his website and I ordered some decals. I wanted a couple of different decals, but he sent a whole bunch. And you know, I was like, what the heck? So I ordered them. 3 or 4 days later, I get this email saying, well, you know, it might be 3 or 4 weeks before the decals get sent. And I emailed them back, might be, well, is it or is it not going to be? Because if it is, I'm going to cancel my order. He said, oh, well, I'll get to it in the next couple of days and they'll get shipped out. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. Like 2 weeks later, these decals arrived in the mail. And they arrived in this little flimsy, like, styrofoamy envelope. Like, these are decals. These are, you know, decals. So I open up the package, and wouldn't you know it, the decals that I wanted were jacked up. And, well, let's show you. See this guy right here? See this? Look at that. That. You know, you can't, I don't know if you can see it, but it's ripped. It's, you know, it's really no good. It was bent. This thing was completely bent over like so. And it ripped the decal. It was that one. All right, so I ordered 4 decals. I ordered 2 of these, and I ordered 2 of these. That's all I wanted. And then for some reason, the dude sends me these. I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you, I guess, for a skull that I don't like, and 2 more skulls that I don't like, and these 2 guys here, which I might put somewhere, I don't know. But wouldn't you know it, the one that I want, this one, is all jacked up. And I think he sent these because he knew this one was jacked up. Don't send me these when I really want this. you know, what the heck? So I emailed them back, and you know, nothing happened. There was no response. So moral of the story is, don't buy stuff off from FaceSpace, you know what I mean? Don't, you know, those, so many, it's just garbage. You know, go through a reputable, I guess, company. I think it was like 30 bucks, so it is what it is. $30 for decals for the two, for the one that I don't, you know, can't even use. So, you know, I just kind of, I've been boycotting these decals. As you can see, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. So, on to old Rusty. There's a video. I just bought it. You can see the video, links. She's, you know, it's rusty for a reason. I call it rusty for a reason. I mean, as you can see, it's rusty. So updates on rusty is you know, I ripped out all the stuff that was extremely rusty, which was everything in this vicinity here. Got the carburetors off, and they're now over in a box over here. And the reason why they're in a box is because, you know, I've been cleaning them. I got them freed up. Got the jets all out of them finally. I'm gonna try to put them back together, see if I can get them to work, see if I can, you know, see if they're usable, basically. The engine is still frozen. I've got transmission fluid, marble mystery oil, core oil, and just about every other kind of chemical that you can think of to try to help break this thing loose in there. And, you know, as you can see, it kind of come out and down on the floor. So that's sitting. I'm just waiting to see if that'll loosen up. The tank, it's pretty rough in there. I don't really have a light. It's pretty rough. I've tried to clean it up. It might, you know, I might be able to use it. I'm gonna throw some nuts and bolts in there and shake it up with some water. Try to knock out the rust as much as I can to see if I can get it to come around. If not, you know, everywhere I look on this thing, there's you know, it's a $300 motorcycle. It's exactly what it is. It might just be good enough for the frame, and that might just be it. I do need this button here, you know, the starter button. If you guys know anything about old Hondas, this starter button, well, you know, it breaks. So I do need that, and I can't get this, you know, switch mechanism off because the screws, you know, they're locked up in there. So I took my coil and just, and most of it ended up on the floor, but hopefully there's some in there and I can get that switch mechanism loose and get that button. So if you know, maybe it's a $200, $300 button. I don't know. But she sits here in sad shape. And the very last but not least update is I finally got a working heat source. Would you look at that? You know, pellet stove. Look at that, pellet stove. Pellet stove, and you know, I got it kind of piped up so the, you know, exhaust goes out. The smoke. This pellet stove came out of my parents. They couldn't figure out why it wasn't working right, and it turns out somebody took the circuit breaker board off and put it back on, and they didn't hook up the wires properly. So the auger didn't turn, and it wouldn't burn properly without the augers turning, and lo and behold, I found out that they're missing parts too. So after messing around with it, I figured it out, and it works. So that's going to be one of the heat sources for next winter. Glad that I could use it. It was free. So free heat source minus the pellets that I had to buy and the pellet starter. So, you know, I'm not putting out videos, but I am putting out, if you know what I'm saying. You know, doing a lot of work on everything. Just, you know, I've been taking a break away from the camera. Because like I said earlier, it's not always fun trying to explain, trying to show people how to do stuff, and then, you know, every once in a while you get that one guy that has to throw a bad comment out there, and, you know, it just kind of takes away from the fun. So I'm going to try to get back at it, making more videos, trying to help people out, spread some knowledge, have fun doing it. Car show season, bike season, you know, it's upon us. It's coming. It's here. Actually, the first car show was yesterday, and I didn't go to it. So that's what's coming up this summer. So you know, more videos on the way. I promise. You know, if you like this kind of stuff, hit that like button, subscribe. You know, I promise there's more videos. Just you know, gotta get off my tuchus and do some videoing. But yeah, like, tag, share, follow, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your family. You know, I'm still trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers. You know, guy at work, he's still telling me that I can't, so I gotta prove him wrong. Anyways, like always, till next time, thanks a lot. I totally forgot to talk to you guys about, you know, the important stuff. Got this light that I'm gonna hang up there for when I get a lift for those guys, so, you know, I can lift them up. And I'm still gonna do the headlight restoration that I talked about eons ago. So stay tuned for that fun stuff.